Welcome to the All-Star Lineup Baseball Studios, otherwise known as my desk. I finally cleared up enough room to be able to play in here as opposed to somewhere else in the house, so that's a good thing. If you're familiar with the game at all, the way the game is played is every player card has, it'll focus, has outcomes on them. And basically what happens is you roll a D8 for the pitcher, a D6 for the batter. Whoever wins that outcome, you go to their card and roll a D20. And if you roll, like, say, a 7 in this case, that'd be a single for Altuve. Or a 15 would be a home run, okay? That's when you're going to play a baseball game. What we're doing here is something brand new, okay? This is a head-to-head contest between these two teams, batter by batter, okay? And I'll show you how it works. Okay, in the game box, you get a black D20 and a red D20, and you use these when you select from the cards. What we're going to do is play a little head-to-head game here. The red D20 will represent Houston up here. I got 2017 Houston and 2017 Boston. Okay, Houston's red, Boston's black. I'm going to roll both of these. Whatever the outcome is, I'll go to the cards, and each team receives points for the outcomes. Okay, 1 point for a single, 2 points for a double, 3 points for a triple, 4 points for a home run. Everything else in the card, the walks, the hit by pitches, everything else is 1 point. Okay, and we'll do that head to head, batter to batter, and we'll do 3 rounds. So I'll go through the lineup here 3 times. So let's just do it, and I'll show you how it works. We got Jose Altuve versus Mookie Betts first up. Okay, let's roll them and see what happens. All right, Betts rolls a 16, Altuve rolls a 20. Okay, if I go to Mookie's card, 14 to 20 is a walk, so that's a walk for him. That is 1 point for the black team. Okay, Altuve rolled a 20. That's a hit by pitch. That is 1 point for the red team. So 1 batter in, we're tied up, 1-1. Alex Bregman versus Jackie Bradley Jr. Oh, and it's important to note, for purposes of this little fun game, it doesn't matter what you're doing as far as your lineup. Put your best power hitters in to go against the other team, because all that matters is the outcome on the cards. So since we're not playing a full baseball game, this is just something you can play quick in 15-20 minutes instead of setting up a whole baseball game. So anyway, Bregman versus Jackie Bradley Jr. See, Bregman rolls a 3, Jackie Bradley Jr. rolls a 2. For both those gentlemen, that's a single, so that's 1 point for each team. Okay, tied up 2-2. All right, now we got Marwin Gonzalez versus Rafael Devers. Devers rolls an 11. I turned it over, but it's an 11. Gonzalez rolls a 16. For Gonzalez, a 16 is a walk, so that's 1 point for the red team. An 11 is a double for Devers, so that's 2 points for the black team. So black's ahead 4-3. George Springer versus Andrew Benintendi. Okay, here we go. Benintendi rolls a 17. Springer rolls a 2. Now I know that 2 for Springer is a single. That's 1 point for red. 17 is a walk for Benintendi, so that's 1 point for black. So it's 5-4 Boston at this point. Okay, we got Carlos Correa versus Mitch Moreland down here. Moreland rolls a 16, Correa rolls an 11. Okay, for Correa, an 11 is a double. That's 2 points for the red team. Moreland rolled a 16. That is a walk for him. That's 1 point for black. So now we're tied up 6-6. Okay, then we go with Josh Reddick versus Xander Bogaerts. Bogaerts rolls a 19. Reddick rolls a 1. For Reddick, for everyone, just about a 1's a single. So that's 1 point for the red team. Bogaerts rolls a 19. That is a walk. That's 1 point for the black team. Okay. Tyler White versus Eduardo Nunez. Okay. White rolls an 18. Nunez also rolls an 18. For both those gentlemen, an 18 is a walk. So that's 1 point for each team. So we're tied up 8-8. Jake Marisnick versus Chris Young. Okay. Young rolls an 11. Marisnick rolls a 20. That is a hit by pitch from Marisnik, which is a 1 point for the red team. Young rolls an 11. That's a double. That's 2 points for Black. So Black pulls into the lead barely, 10-9. So Boston's leading 10-9 over Houston. The next one is Gurriel and Vasquez. Gurriel rolls an 18, which is a walk. So that is 1 point for red. For Boston, Vasquez rolls a 13. A 13 is a double. So that is 2 points for Black. So, at the end of round 1, the score is Black 12, red 10. So still pretty close. Starting over, Altuve versus Betts. Okay? Altuve rolls a mighty 2. Betts rolls a 7. That's a single for both of them. So that's 1 point for each team. And if you, I'm keeping track of this on just a simple pad over here. Next, Bregman versus Jackie Bradley Jr. Bregman rolls a 10. Bradley Jr. rolls a 17. A 10 for Bregman is a double. Okay, so that's 2 points for red. For 17 is a walk for Boston, so that's 1 more point for them. Okay, score right now is 14-13. Okay, Marwin Gonzalez versus Rafael Devers. Devers rolls a 16. Gonzalez rolls a 17. For Devers, a 16. He just missed a home run. That's a walk. That's 1 point for Black, or for Houston. And then 17 for Gonzalez is a walk. So that's 1 point for red. Okay, we're rolling again. Okay, Benintendi gets a 14. Springer rolls an 8. For Benintendi, a 14 is a walk. So for Black, that's 1 point for them. And 8 is a single for Springer, so that's only 1 point for red. Black's ahead 16-15 at this point. Okay, I've got Carlos Correa up against Mitch Moreland. Correa rolls a 9. Moreland rolls a 2. For Correa, 9's a single, so that's 1 point. And the same thing for Moreland. So it's 1 point for each team. Okay? So 17-16. Now we got Josh Reddick versus Xander Bogaerts. Roll them up. Reddick rolls a 14. Bogaerts rolls a 19. For Reddick, a 14 is a double. So for red, 2 points for them. A 19 is a walk. That's 1 point for Houston. Okay, so what we have now is a tie game, kids. All right, Tyler White versus Eduardo Nunez. 15 for Tyler White, 17 for Nunez. A 15 is a home run for Tyler White of the red team. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4 points for red, or Houston. Nunez rolled a 17. That is a home run for Boston. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4 points for Boston. We're still tied up. Okay? So here we are. It's 22-22. Jake Marisnik coming up against Chris Young. All right? Let's see here. That's a 6 I rolled for, or sorry, a 9 I rolled for Marisnik, and a 13 for Young. A 9 is a double for Marisnik, so that's 2 points for red. For the Black, 13 is a home run for Chris Young. 1, 2, 3, 4 points. Black is now leading 26-24. Yuli Gurriel and Christian Vasquez going up at it. Here we go, boys. That's a 19, which is 1 point for Gurriel, and an 18, which is a walk, 1 point for Vasquez. So 1 more point for each team. So at the end of 2 rounds, with 1 round to go, the Boston team is up 27-25. Still close, but right now Houston is trailing. Oh, and of course, losing your D20 is never optional or optimal. Let's see if I can find it here real quick. Ah, there it is. Sorry for the delay. We'll delete this in production. Okay, starting over. Altuve versus Mookie Betts. Betts rolls a 10. Altuve rolls a 7. That's a double for Betts, so that is 2 points for Boston. Altuve rolled a 7. That's 1 point for red for Houston. Score is now 29-24. to 26. Boston leading Houston. All right. So for Houston, Bregman rolls a 2. Bradley Jr. rolls a 20. That's a hit by pitch here and a single here, so it's 1 point for each team. All right. There you go. It's 30 to 27. Okay. Marwin Gonzalez versus Rafael Devers, Boston. Gonzalez rolls a 20. Devers rolls a 9. A 9 is a single, so that's 1 point for him, and a hit by pitch for Marwin Gonzalez. That's 1 point for each team. Okay. Now we go on to George Springer versus Andrew Benintendi. Springer rolls a 17, Benintendi rolls a 12. For Springer, a 17 is a walk, so that's 1 point for the red team. Down here for Boston, a 12 is a home run for Benintendi. That's 4 points. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we have it. 35 to 29 now. Boston's pulling away. All right, we got Carlos Correa and Mitch Moreland. 12 for Correa and 7 for Moreland. A 12 is a double for Correa, so that's 2 points for them. 7 is a single for Moreland. That's 1 point for them. Okay. Boston's still in the lead. They're in the lead 36 to 31. Okay. Now we got Josh Reddick rolls a 16. And Bogaerts rolls a 6. A 16 just missed a home run. It's a walk for Reddick. So that's a 1 point for him. And then Bogaerts rolls a 6, which is a single, which is 1 point for them. Okay? So it's still that 5 point difference. With three batters, three head-to-head battles left. Tyler White for Houston coming up against Eduardo Nunez for Boston. Here we go. Tyler White rolls an 8. Nunez rolls a 14. For White, an 8 is a double. That's 2 points for Houston. Nunez rolls a 14. A 14 is a double for them as well. So still 5 points ahead for Boston. Here we go. Jake Marisnick rolls a 15. Chris Young rolls a 14. A 15 for Marisnick is a walk. That is 1 point for them. 14 for Chris Young is a walk as well. They both just missed a home run. All right. So we're still, Boston's ahead by 5. Here we go. A 19 from Gurriel. A 13 from Vasquez. A 19 is a hit by pitch, which is worth 1 point for Houston. A 13 is a double. So at insult to injury, Vasquez adds 2 more points. So our final score is 42 to 36. Boston over Houston. That's it. It's a quick, simple game you can play with any teams you've got for this game, any combination. I'm pondering possibly putting together ranking players in the seasons by their slugging percentages and making 2 teams that go head-to-head National League versus American League, but that's down the road. Anyway, just thought you guys might like to see that. Have fun with it. Thanks.